and your environment. We are here again to educate you on how to keep your environment clean. Well, today we have a topic here we call climate change and effects. And today I have with me to discuss this matter some guests with me here. And I have Comrade Osawaru Adeniyi.
Thank you, moderator viewers. Once again, good morning to you and the environment.
Osawaru is a private sector participant person in Delta State here. They are the two waste management. I have another person, Comrade Theophilus Ogu. Ogu is also a private sector participant in charge of waste management in Delta State. You are welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Another person again is Timothy Agbaragu, Esquire. He is Director of Orientation in Delta State here. They are also into educating the people, sensitizing the people. And here he is today to extend to you. And I remain Gilbert Olye, your host. So today, let's look at the matter here, climate change and effects, or climate change mitigation, or what have you. Sawa.
Well, thank you, moderator. This topic, climate change, is a topic that cannot be overemphasized. And it's a topic that we need to take. Thank God the National Orientation Agency director is here. I'm glad he's a director. So he's in a position to always exercise authority in matters that has to do with orientation. He's here. This is a topic that needs to be continually spoken about because of where it is not taking us to. It is the climate change now that has brought about global warming. It is climate change that has brought about global warming. And as we all know, climate change is as a result of a long-term shift in temperatures and weathers in the world that we are seeing today now. Long-term change. Now, in those days, we need to know, we know when it is rainy season and when it is dry season. But it will shock you to know now that nobody now can predict when it's going to rain, or when it's going to be sunny, or when it's going to be drought, or when it's going to be harmattan. That is as a result of climate change. It shifts totally from the original temperature or weather that we all know right from inception. And it's a matter that is of national and global concern.
Yeah.
It's a matter of global concern, not just national. When they say global, the whole world are now concerned. Now they've left climate change now to global warming. Because when they say global warming, it is not a global matter. When they say climate change, we're limiting it, but it's not a global matter.
Yes,
it's no longer a community
Africa
or Africa alone. So climate change is as a result of change in temperature, weather for a long term that is now affecting us. And it could be caused by man, sometimes natural. But I will tell you, for the climate change we're experiencing now is more of man's activity that is now even making it a concern to everybody. So for my fellow colleagues to also add, I just want everybody to know that climate change, as is a matter of concern now, it is even more of humanity to weather and nature.
Yeah, so Ogo, looking at what they have just said, you say the activities of man over matter. I don't understand that. How do you look at it? Can man just come and say, you was looking at what will kill you, you say, oh yeah, let's go. So how do you look at it?
All right, thank you very much
Yeah.
for having me. Like my colleague has rightly said, global warming being part of climatic change is a part. But like when he talked about man's inhumanity to the environment,
Yes.
he actually refers to the activities
Okay.
that man has carried out so far which has accumulated from so many years of activities against the environment. For instance, we in our houses, we see the way right in the village we're using firewood, and this firewood emits smokes, carbon monoxide, which goes to the atmosphere to deplete the ozone layer.
Okay.
And when you talk about depleting the ozone layer, you are talking about exposing the sun rays to the earth in an intensity that lives, humans, will be affected by the intensity of the sun. So the heat rays from the sun has now become something closer to where man is residing, which initially was not like that. And what are the effects of these activities? The effects, or what are these activities? The activities stems from, like as I talked about, this firewood burning, those of them who are into oil exploration, flaring of gases, and when you begin to flare gases, you are emitting high temperature gas into the atmosphere. What it does is that it goes into react with the oxygen in the air, and it begins to form, elements that now exposes the ozone layer to the sun, and therefore the sun can now penetrate through this ozone layer and start having effects on the environment. And that is why till today we are having that. And again, when you
is
look
the fire not covering the earth, or the ozone layer or whatever?
No, you see, the fire gets to the effect of the fire. Fire is a composition of so many elements, which when it gets to the atmosphere, each of those elements disintegrates and start reacting in the atmosphere.
Okay.
And that is why you see sometimes when you have these airplanes flying on the air, they get to, there is a certain period while they are on the air, they will tell you they cannot penetrate through the cloud, because it's cloudy or it's muddy, they cannot see, it's not visible.
Yeah.
But as it is today, you see the planes, most times we don't hear about those things because the clouds has been exposed. So plane can fly and just go, apart from, especially in Africa, and narrow it down to like Nigeria. Everywhere is exposed. So now, this is October. At this month, we are supposed to have started having Harmattan.
Okay,
But today, as at yesterday, we still had rainfall. And it's still being predicted that there's still going to be rainfall. So the activities of man that has actually affected the environment is what is the main crux of the matter. What are those things that we are doing that we need to checkmate? And that is why they are talking about climatic change. They've gone to so many seminars. The various governments of the world have initiated so many programs, energies here and there, energy seminars, all in an attempt to see how they can reduce the effect of man's activity on the environment. But you discover that the more they go for such global programs, get money from the World Bank and the rest of them, the more the activities increases. Then you now ask yourself, what is the essence of those meetings that they are going for? Because even within us here in our own local sphere where we are talking about the effect.
Yes.
Rain just fell. I'll give you an instance. Jesus Save Road.
Yes.
Is it the government constructed a drainage that takes water from DLA Road, Jesus Save Road, the adjoining streets,
even river,
down to River Niger through Agric Road.
Yes.
But can I tell you, as you go to Jesus Save today, this morning, the water is not flowing.
Everywhere
is blocked. It's simply telling you that the Agric Road passage of this place, because it is a slab that has been covered. Now, before now, that particular road, that particular Agric Road, where this drainage passed through, if you get to some of those slabs, they are beginning to, compress down, telling you that the pressure of what has come in there is now beginning to take effect on those holes. So I think government should look at this matter. Unlike before, about 3 weeks ago, there was a rainfall in Asaba. The whole Jesus Save houses were submerged. Because the water gets to the point where it could no longer pass through the the drainage.
Drainage,
He started
and
entering
come
people's
out.
houses, which has never happened before. So these are the effects of man's activity. Government have been able to put up a drainage to allow free flow of water. People in their houses will package their refuse,
And even
tie it in a rice sack, and drop it in the drainage so that the water can take it to heaven. It's unfortunate. Thank you.
Wow. So, Timothy, looking at what we are discussing, what do you have to say?
Well, it is said that you cannot put something on nothing and you expect it to stand.
Yes.
We have so many policies as far as the government is concerned,
Yeah.
both the state, the local, and even the federal, that's supposed to kind of make check and balances in respect of these natural consequences that we are facing.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the institution itself, is not strong enough, all right, to a kind of apprehend, the infractions, caused by man. Because for one, it's like the political will is not there to enforce these policies. Otherwise, look, if you look at our laws today and our rules and regulations today in respect of climate control and whatever, they are very robust. Very robust. I think we have the most fantastic policies when you talk of climate change control and stuff like that in the world. But the implementation stage is the problem. The enforcement stage is the problem. Now, my colleague also mentioned of our own practice, as individuals. Just look at the scenario he just created now. That the government have done its bit as far as that Jesus Save Road is concerned. Now, it is for we that are living around that are supposed to do our bit also.
Yes.
You understand? Now, if someone would, at this very age, at this age of enlightenment, of education, awareness of health issues, why must someone in the whole wildest mind think of packaging sack of refuse and dump it in where water is supposed to flow? When he knows the consequences, not that he doesn't know the consequences. The consequences is that it blocks. When it blocks, the water will now overflow. And this water that is overflowing is dirty.
Dangerous.
And it now overflow to your house.
Yes.
Now,
All the diseases.
what of you? Are you not affected by it? Waterborne diseases. And what, are you not affected by it? What of your children? So sometimes we are in a state of what to call anemia. Anomy, rather, anomy. It means that it's a state where the citizens do not want to comply with the law. They don't want to comply for no just cause or for no just. They may have their reason anyway. But if such a reason is affecting you as a person, then you should jettison that kind of practice. And that is why actually they need more awareness creation, more enlightenment from time to time to be regular. It's not only something that it comes once in a while. When the rain is coming, okay, let's
That's when
go.
you come and do.
You understand?
fire brigade.
Sensitization and things like that. Not only on radio also. We should go to the field,
Yes.
and orientate the people
House
in
to
the
house.
local villages, in wherever we are, so that these practices can be minimized. Even though it cannot be put totally a stop, but it can be reduced to barest minimum. I think if we do so, and we also as individuals discipline ourselves to comply with government regulations and rules, it will help all of us, because all of us are in it, whether we like it or not. We cannot run away from this country. The country is ours. We're not running away from Delta State. Delta State is ours. So it is our onus, our responsibility also to make it clean for good hygiene, so that all of us can have a good living and a health living. I think that's for now. That's my contribution to that.
Okay, so Adeni, looking at what we are discussing now, every year we always have early warning of whatever that is coming, both the flooding, both whatever climate and global warming here and there. Does it mean that people are not listening, or they are not hearing, or what do you think that is happening? Because one, there was village we went to Abomba, and as we are coming, all the villages, both this side and this side, they have trees along their surroundings. But when you come to a town like this, you don't see such condition. So why? What is it? Is it that we in the village we are better off, or we are more educated than people in the town?
I will differ with that.
Okay.
It is because development has not gotten there.
You mean it?
Yes.
So they will have
Because
even cut down their trees and others.
Yes. Because whatever we're passing through today is a result of industrialization, development. We're talking about climate change.
There is industrialization saying that you should cut down your trees.
That's our problem. Because, like what he said, there are policies that is being made by the government that is not being enforced. Even the people that are championing the global warming, if you go to their place now, they are now retracing their step. Go to the Western world. They are now claiming areas back to the original existence of that area, making it what? Green, habitable area. In abroad now, they have residential area, they have industrial area, they now have recreation area, they now have reserved area. Sir, where is our reserved area in this country? Starting from Asaba. All the industrial area in Delta State or in Nigeria has now been turned to either church or residential. Church or residential. If you go to industrial layout in Lagos, the whole street now is church, resident. But when they were planning the country in Lagos, when it was the capital of Nigeria, that place was mapped strictly for industrialization. No other habitat stays there than companies. So when you are telling me Ogbonpasi has trees, don't worry. Shebi they've started selling land. Estate valuers are everywhere. Estates, buy land, pay in 3 years, buy instrumental. They're all going to the villages now, buying the land, cheap money from the community people, because they know that development will get there. And when development gets there, those trees you are seeing that you are talking about, they will be no longer there. Because those land that are already cutting, they are already felling the trees.
Okay.
These are the part
before
they even sell for people. Because will you go and buy a place that looks like a forest? So they will fell the tree for it to look bare and open for you, so that you will know where they are putting your beacon or wherever you want to pick. So Ogbonpa that you're talking about is because development has not gotten there. Not that they are more intelligent or more sane than us. So like we were saying, if not for the industrialization that started in the 18th centuries, we wouldn't have known what they call climate change. Yeah. The gas flaring, the industries, the burning, the generator and all those things, they were the one that now metamorphosed to this issue of effect of climate change. If we're not having all this, there won't be issue of climate change. But man, God has created man to be what? Innovative. God has created man not to be stagnant. God created man to move, to advance. That is why you see that every day, even in the Christianity foria, you see advancement in the things of God. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to make you understand now is that, not that we don't know what we are doing. We know what we are doing, but we are doing it negatively, and where we're supposed to be directed, the enforcers, the policy makers are not directing us in what to do. Look at, we have lands and survey. Before you build your house, you're supposed to go there. They will tell you, you have to plant a tree, you have to live XY meters away from the road, you have to plant tree, you have to have a green environment. This is what they're supposed to tell them. But who does that? The same man that makes the policy that does not enforce or monitor the policy? It will not work. Now we're supposed to have GRA, government reservation area. But go to the government reservation area now, hotels they there, where they burn diesel 24 hours of the day. Because we're in an economy, we're in a government where there is no power. It's called government reservation area. That place is supposed to be a quiet and a serene environment. That's what they call it government reservation area. When you enter there, the only thing you should see is green and the whistling of birds. But go to our own GRA here now. Generators are working because hotels, commercial activities are taking place there. So not that we don't know, what we are doing, development is taking us and giving us more negative effects than good. Because the effect of development is long term, not short term.
But developed countries, they also do such a thing.
They
but
made such they made the mistake.
Positions.
No, sir. The developed country you're talking to, they too make such mistake. But they quickly retrace their step. That's like I told you. Go to developed country now. They quickly retrace their step. They had such mistake too. But because they are proactive people, they are talk-na-do people, and they walk their talk. When they saw that they started making mistakes, they started retracing their step, go back and reclaim those things and modify it to suit and to be habitable to the people around. Not to cause more harm than good. That's why you see that in the Western world, people don't fall sick easily the way we fall sick of malaria, typhoid, and everything here. Why? Because they now discover that it is even more cheaper to have a good climate environment than to treat people in the hospital. They have to weigh it. We don't have the manpower. We don't have enough money for drugs. We don't have enough hospital. But what are the causes of these things? If we lack this, if we lack this, if we lack this. So why don't you put this in place so that we will reduce the pressure of sick people in the hospital? But here in Nigeria, we do more things that will drive people to prison. We do more things that will drive people to the hospital. We do more things that will drive people to 6 feet than to avert things. We will create more problems that will bring people to police station. But over there, they try as much as possible to minimize situations that can cause problem to them. So that is why over there, look at Dubai, that is a desert place. But if you go to Dubai, the kind of trees are you talking about Malaysia, Indonesia? Those areas are desert area. But go there, the finest trees you see there, the greenest trees you see there. Why? Because these people are seeing the future of the effect of climate change and global warming. Look at us now in Nigeria. There's hunger. Let me tell you, whatever you call it, whether it is inflation or not, climate change is also playing a role to the hunger in the world peculiar to Nigeria. Climate change. Do you know in the north? Do you know we import grass now for our cows to eat?
Yes, when they are bringing their cows, they always...
We import grasses now, whereas we have hectares of land farm.
They even give the cow a dry leaf.
That is because we're importing them now. We import hays now for our livestock to eat when we had them. In those days, why do you have to do that? But now, because of climate change, because you don't know when the weather will come, now is it not? It's as a result of climate change. Now we're having flood everywhere. The people are saying it's the open dam. The heavy rainfall, rain not the fall for you. When you go to the north, you will know that rain is falling. When one rain falls, it's as a result of 30 days rain in this place.
Okay, so Theophilus, when you look at this oil exploration here and there, gas flaring here and there, the people that taught us how to do all these things are the developed countries. Why is it that we now that they have taught how to do this thing, and they are even still here, we are still suffering, and they are not importing whatever they are having from there to at least teach us how to control these things?
You see, first of all, like I used to always say, Bible said the heart of man is desperately wicked. Okay. And he said, who can know it? The people that gave us ideas or taught us about energy, they done very well. And they discovered that it's working for them. That was why when they came here, they started exploring our oil and they started employing our people. But our people changed them. That is why you see that
change them.
Yes, by our attitude.
Okay.
Now, you discover, let me give you an example. Check every company that is doing well currently. The management is not in Nigeria. The top level management of such viable companies are not Nigerians. But yet, most of our Nigerians are professors in their field of endeavor. But you cannot hand over your company to a Nigerian and say, manage it for me, and you are sure of having profit. He will siphon everything off. So the heart of Nigerians, we need this reorientation so that we can be normal human beings. You know, sometimes that is why when some people behave some way, you just ask, are you okay? You know, are you normal? Because it takes a heart of man who fears God to do the right thing. Now, let me give you something. 2022, there was a flood in this country. Apart from 2012, I'm talking of the 2022 flooding.
Yes.
That affected various houses, including Delta. We have experts there were committees we are set up to do what they call environmental impact assessment. And they came up with a white paper. I haven't done that. So that the next one will not affect the people. The question you need to ask is, haven't done those white papers, what step have been taken so far to ameliorate the effect of this coming one that we are experiencing? Go behind Mountain of Fire Stadium today. The River Niger is coming close to houses. Yeah. Some houses are already being submerged. Ugolo Road is on its way to be submerged. What are the plans that this white paper contains to help in making sure that this recurrent decimal does not affect the people again? As it was in the beginning, so shall it be, world without end. That has been our attitude. And it is not helping the system. Because, for instance, we are talking about the effects now. This climate change in Asaba, for instance, check our roads. The whole roads are so bad. Is it that there are no people who are employed to maintain these roads? Today, we're talking of environmental impact assessment. People put up a road. A point came that the coal tar, which they use, the asphalt, is no more available. Now we are using cement and sand to build road. Meanwhile, the world has gone beyond that. So many roads. I was watching a clip in Germany, and I saw where a company, is involved in recycling plastic and producing
motor tire.
Plus, not just a motor tire, producing this interlocking stones, which they use in constructing their road. And when they checked the effect of that plastic, it has zero effect on the environment. Now, it does not affect the people that drives the road. And it is water resistance. So why can't our people go to study such things and come back and encourage ourselves and start building our road with plastics that will last longer? Is it that we don't know about these things? We know. Our people will travel, go there, make some ESTA codes, collect and all manner. And when they come back, they put up their paper. You know, Nigeria, like our daddy rightly said, our people are very good when it comes to putting up policies. They are the best in the whole world. But the problem you have is implementation. Those your good write-ups, can it be implemented to have a positive effect in the life of the people. No, we will keep it on that table and manufacture as it pleases us. And that is why you see some people in their own thinking, they will build very mighty mansion that they will live in, but there's no road to go to their house. They will not go and buy SUV, thinking that will help them. The more they pass through that road, they destroy that road. And the other ones are people are suffering it. And they are still the same people living within us. You see, like somebody used to say, that the things that our people are doing is a time bomb we are sitting on. Because a time will come that even that your house you built, you may not go back to your home. So the effect is not just that of economic, but it's also psychological. Now, look at our agricultural sector. The non-agricultural sector is having the effect more. Agricultural sector, we are still managing, but the non-agricultural sector. Now, take the statistics of what happened, like as we were given in 2022. Bayelsa State, they said 90% of the people living in Bayelsa had no family did not have issue on this water matter. Is it that the people living there, the government have not known that, okay, another rain is coming, another flood is coming. Is there no way the government can say, okay, because there are some other lands, empty lands somewhere that people can move to, and you build that place and develop it and make it a low-cost estates for the people. Because sometimes we're blaming the people that, okay, a lot of them, they don't want to leave their ancestral homes. But we saw what happened in Bayelsa, that most of the graves were at the end of the rain. They were empty. They were exhumed. The dead bodies, the bones were all exhumed and sent back to the ocean. So there was no bones again in the grave. The effect of that to the environment is more disastrous than anything else. Let me stop here, sir.
Okay, so Timothy, talk about the health effect, that environmental health.
Of
So
this climate
how do
change.
you of this climate change or global warming? How? Because it seems we don't even know that there are effects of all these, what we are doing. How do you look at it?
Thank you very much. First, I want to refer our minds to the Bible.
Okay.
The first known environmentalist in the universe is God himself.
Okay.
When he created, after creating the Garden of Eden, he created the man and the woman. And he gave them a command. What was the command? That expand the frontiers of the paradise. Which means that that template that God has given to them is what God is telling them to use in expanding
and modify it.
Okay.
You understand?
Duplicate.
Because God loves good environment. God knows that good environment brings good health. And he wants good health for his creatures and the humans. And you know that as time goes on, this first family will continue to procreate.
Yes, and they will start expanding.
And they'll start expanding. That is why he gave them that commandment. Which means that God is the foremost proactive persona in the universe. Now, if we had that in mind, we go to churches, we go to pray, we call ourselves Christians or profess Christians
Muslims
or Muslims. Now, why not adopt what the Bible or the Quran has told us to do. Let me tell you how God also emphasized the issue of good health and the environment.
Okay.
When he gave a command to the people of Israel that if you defecate, bury it. So that these germs will not evaporate
It's unaffected.
and affect others.
brother.
Isn't that so?
Yes.
Good. Good. To some extent, we have copied that and modified it by the water closet
Yes.
and this thing that we have.
Yes.
Water
Yes.
system.
It's not so.
That's the modification.
That's modification.
Yes.
Now, that is one part. Another area that God gave us a very good command and know that yes, God is a lover of environment and good health is the area of those affected with one infirmity or the other, like leprosy.
Okay.
When a person is affected with leprosy, in the time of the Israelites, they quarantine that person.
Yes.
Yeah. Separate the person.
They separate the person from others. Isn't
You
that so?
don't tell
Yes.
quarantine start.
These are biblical
Standards.
standards
Yes.
that God has set for us. Now, God has said that for us. Why not we imitate or obey that standards that God has set? Because, you see, when once there is flooding as a result of climate change,
Yeah.
it comes with what? It comes with diseases.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It comes with other airborne disease,
Cholera.
cholera,
Waterborne.
waterborne disease, just mention them but a few. That is why it is incumbent on us to make sure that we keep our environment clean. The surrounding, you as a person will not be able to keep the environment clean because the environment is wide. But you can keep your surrounding
The surrounding.
clean.
Your immediate environment.
Your immediate what? Environment. If I keep mine clean, this man keep his own
He's
clean.
expanding.
The other one keep his own
He's
clean.
expanding.
How will the environment turn to? A very healthy environment. So we should avoid practices that will a kind of put our environment into danger that will now give us health issues. We have talked some of them. Like you said, for example, there are also technological means, although that can be cost effective in the sense that you need a capital outlay for now because of the site, because of the economy. It's so good.
Yeah.
Let me use a euphemism. The economy is so good. Otherwise, people are not turning away from anything that has to do with gas, fuel, fossil fuel,
Yes.
and renewable energy. That is why the bulbs we have today, they are of little current. We now power them.
Yes.
Yes.
Solar
Energy
energy
bulb.
and things like that. To speak the fact, I for one, I will not use my money to go and buy a generator again. If I have the need to buy another this thing, I will not go for generator. Generator is also very expensive now. Two of us.
That's true.
What of the fueling? It's also very expensive. But with little money, just like maybe
Light up solar.
you light up your solar, and that conserves energy and make the environment healthy
And
environment.
yes.
So those are the things we should not be taking towards. What, in essence, one is saying is this: that we as individuals, we have responsibility. We should also think outside the box on how we can help ourselves to see that we don't unnecessarily make ourselves vulnerable to health hazards. And it is by our own practice. The practice of what? Make sure your environment, your surrounding is clean. Make sure that what government has put in place, you don't
maintained.
endanger it.
Yes.
By look at refuse all over the place.
Channeling
Why?
your water to the
You went to
your
school,
sewage.
you went to a university, you went to qualified education, and these things are taught right from even the primary schools.
Yes.
So why are we not imbibing them? So all the same, we still need what? Orientation. Aggressive orientation to address our people, to have a change of mind. There is this slogan by the National Orientation Agency: change begins with me.
2 years.
Change begins with me. And you cannot change people. You cannot change the world. You cannot change Delta. Without changing the people.
Yes, okay.
The person must also try to change himself. So these are things that we should ensure that we do, so that our environment will be cleaner for us. Once it's clean for Mr. B, it's clean for Mr. A, it's clean for Mr. C. Let's not do it as if we are doing it for somebody else. Let's do it as if we are doing it for ourselves. Look at the hospitals. When you go there now, what are the diseases the people are treating? Malaria, cholera, typhoid. And what are the cause of this? It's our environment, the way we live, the habits. Is it not so?
Yes.
But those who are really having good homes, or environment, clean homes, let me put it there. They make sure that cockroach
does not stay
in their house. Yes. Mosquito will not stay in the house. All these reptiles, little ones,
all the rodents that
they
goes
will
around.
make sure that they push them away from the house by putting one infectant here and there.
Yes, exactly.
Is it not so? Why not we apply that to the same surrounding that we are? When we have PSPs. Throw your refuse to where you are supposed to dump them. Don't put them in a car. Like, it's very sad that an office, a government worker,
It's their own waste from
sometimes
home.
some of them are directors.
Yes. Yes.
Carry from home to
You pack all those things into your car. You drive them, locating where you just push them somewhere, and you drive off.
or even
Is that-
dump it inside
is that
the
sane?
drainage. It's very bad.
I was in a Calabar some time ago. As we were driving for a conference, as we were driving to the venue of the conference, lo and behold, one of my colleagues dropped this wrap of
Plantain chips.
wrap of
Gala.
no, not the gala self, of this sweet. What they call this? Tom. Drop it. You understand? After preaching, him, I drop it. So as we are going, he took observation that he did not see anything like that.
On the
At
road.
all. You can't see it.
As we are going along, more than
In crossing.
about
Yes.
a quarter mile, nothing like that. The man, conscience,
started judging.
pricked him. He said, "Oh boy, we got to drive back and let me go and pick that thing."
You see? That's it, conscience.
He drove back.
Yes.
We drove the bus back. And he picked that thing and put it inside the car,
Yes.
inside the vehicle.
So if
What is there?
everybody should do that.
Conscience. Not only conscience. One, the government has also make
Done
sure that
something.
the place is clean.
Very clean. You can
Because that is what pricked the conscience.
Yes.
If you had, as I was going, the place was dirty. It will have, nothing will have,
everywhere,
will not
left
preserve
and
anything.
right, you
Left
see
and right,
trees.
everywhere,
See
left and right, you see
trees.
trees. So
You can even see chairs. If you are,
Yes,
if you
you
are walking
want to relax.
and they are tired, you can
along the road,
But,
you
but you
can
know that
sit.
this like what he said,
Understand?
these things were before.
No,
Currently.
we are talking about
Calabar.
Currently.
Calabar.
Of
Yes.
course.
Now,
Okay.
yeah, it's
That's
still
a
like
new
that.
development.
It's
Because
still
I
like
was there
that.
some time ago.
The
thing I saw.
Akwa is now,
Imitating Calabar now.
Calabar now.
Is that not in Nigeria?
You understand?
Yeah, it's Nigeria.
Is that
So
abroad?
you can imagine.
So, like you said, also sometimes the leaders should also do their
something.
things.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because for one,
Yes.
if you put laws,
You can imagine when Joan started this
Keep Asaba-
cladding
Cladding
Yes.
of
You
shops.
understand?
Yes.
You see that he did some certain
Yes,
things.
yes,
Of course.
There was a
Undermining
facelift.
people are
Of
saying
course.
that
It's
Adani
harsh.
Norma did not do
It's
this.
harsh.
She
No,
did
no,
not
no,
do
no.
that.
She
did that.
brought
If you are
a
not
standard.
harsh like that, you cannot. You can't make it.
look at
You
Summit Road.
understand? You can't make
From the
it.
junction, Summit Road,
Yeah.
up to today,
Yes.
Summit Road is very
You see very
Serene.
okay.
compared to how it
as
were
before.
Yes.
some time ago before
Yes.
deception as a this thing.
So
we can do it.
She walked.
We can do it. We are human beings. God created that mind in us
Yes.
to do what is right and to make sure that we are clean. To
I
make sure
tell
that.
you.
So, my brother.
So, what advice do you have for us? Which one is the best way now to do these things?
Sir.
Who and who? Let's look at the government side and look at the people's
Stakeholders.
side.
And
Let's say 2 minutes.
For the topic of the day, climate change, the bulk is in the hands of the government.
Okay.
Because when we look at climate change, when we look at the causes of climate change, which we said few is of natural, then more is of man's activity. And these activities are multi-millionaire activities that a single man cannot do. It takes a multinational government to do. Like the burning of gas, flaring of gas is government responsibility. If you go to the Niger Delta area, this sludge that they are pouring away, spillage, is government. Those are the things causing this problem. It will happen there, it will affect us here because the carriers, the bacteria carriers, they fly, they move. Even your shoe, you can use your shoe to pick it and you will come to DBS. You that went to Riverine area, because you wore this shoe down there and you brought the shoe to this place, as you are stepping here, you have dropped some particles that we can pick and it becomes spreading in this area. So government should sit at the forefront, not going to Dubai and sit for one climate change meeting and do white paper like the government person here said, do white paper, collect Estaco and come back and keep it in archive and no implementation. So my advice is more to the government than the individual, because if the government put a policy in place and they are acting on that policy, who is the individual not to follow? Because even the scripture told us that obedience is better than sacrifice. And the scripture also said in the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 19, it said, if my people are willing and obedient, they will eat the good of the land. So if the government put policy that will work for us and we obey, it is for our own advantage. We won't be running to hospital. The Western world, like we said, they have retraced their step. They have started doing things to correct their mistake. Let government of Nigeria also wake up. And one, we don't have mistake because we still have enough time to correct things. There, they've done so much that there is no room. They had to start remixing. Yeah, we don't have remix. Climate is coming now. Flood is coming now. We've not prepared IDP camp for people. We've not prepared IDP camp. Health officers have not gone to the proposed IDP camp to see how healthy, how prepared is our environment to receive these people that will be displaced. Because climate change brings displacement of people. And when they are displaced, where do they go? So government should be at the forefront before we, the followers. They say when the leader is at the front, we follow. So government, first of all, climate change matter is a matter of concern for government before the people. Thank you.
So, how do you see it? Like the
Well,
people, you say they are not, they're supposed to be doing something.
No, really. You see, we don't have enough time. But just to round up, I want to advise Deltans, especially the residents of Asaba, please stop packaging your refuse in a rice bag and dropping in the drainages. It's causing more harm than good. Because I still want to appeal to the government. Please, they should look at the Jesus Save Road drainage and they sealed that road, especially the Greek road, the end of it. There are bags of refuse that is there, and the slab they are giving way. Please, I wish they would hear us.
Yesterday I went to this Ogwoku for
coverage. Okay.
For Imogbe. That street leading to Obogonogo.
Okay.
My brother, if you can't pass there,
So
everywhere flooded.
yes.
You understand? I
And
don't know.
look at River Niger,
Why?
look at us.
You know, and you know that Ogwoku, I think the chairman of
The one they just
South,
gave at the palace,
just renovated it, and you can, when you get there, you will see that
It's fine. But
yes,
the environment is
okay.
dirty.
But the environment is too bad. You understand?
Government
No
should-
road, no drainage, no everywhere.
with such
is-
structure.
Yes,
If you see the structure,
everywhere is
over 200 million naira structure standing there,
You're
but
right.
access to the place is
So I don't know what is happening. So
Yes,
what advice do you have?
the little advice is this. Before I do that, I want to correct an impression
Yes.
that the government has not prepared IDP camps. They are prepared.
Okay.
Because I know that if you go to Zoro today, there is particular school they use, another place is there also. But I'm not to talk to for the committee. There's a committee in place for that very particular purpose. I think led by the SAG. So I know they're in top gear and they have started planning to have prepared some. That I will, say with all sense of kind of authorization. So the government is doing its best. Having said that, this issue of climate change, deltans, it should be a concerted effort. It's you leave that place bare, you should be able to plant one or plant two. Because these are the trees, these small trees are the ones that are going to be giant trees tomorrow to protect the environment, to protect rainfall, so that it will not cause any devastating damage.
Okay,
so what I'm saying is that it is all a concerted effort, and all of us should put hands together. That is
okay.
my
Thank you
advice
so
to
much.
deltans.
Thank you so much. I think we have come to the end of today's program. You and your environment. I want to thank Adeni Osawaru for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Theophilus Ogo.
Thank you
Please,
very much for having me.
We welcome you today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Timothy Abaragu, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure is mine.
I want to advise our people at home, please be listening to this. Listen to this and take advice from us, because we are here to let you know that the environment is your own, and take care of the environment so that you remain healthy. Thank you so much. We'll come back next week for another version. I remain Gilbert Olye, your host. Thank you.